Caw. Two men. One named Rich. That's me.
This is Jermaine. Just got off the toilet.
He's a foul man. This is the X's and O's of life.
Huh?
Yeah, man, I really hate recording this podcast. Oh, shit, we're on camera. Oh.
That shit is funny every time. I don't know why.
Yeah, because it's silly, and it's funny because I do it on the interview thing, too. And actually, I was thinking about splitting this podcast up a little bit and having the interviews on their own separate podcast and then having the regular X's and O's on its own podcast, because I think some people like the interview, some don't. And that way it's kind of split up so you know what.
So what, you look at just somebody just have cleaner navigation as far as
like have all the interviews under like the X's and O's interviews, like have that be its own kind of podcast, and just kind of. So I'm probably gonna split that up just so it's cleaner, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, with the interviews, anybody? I mean, I know they're all pretty interesting in itself, but did any of them strike you recently that?
Oh, dude, this true crime guy. Look, and first of all, this thing got like 55 views in 2 days on YouTube itself, so it definitely blew up.
Yeah.
But this true crime fella, man, and I do like true crime. I do listen to that creepy shit, and he delves into it, and
what is his expertise in the true crime assembly line, so to speak? Like, what part of it is he on, or is he just interested in it? Like, is he?
No, so he does podcast. He does like podcasts on it.
Okay.
So he does like episodic kind of versions of it. He'll tackle, he has 3 different podcasts going on, and he'll attack it episodically, and he will do like he'll do one case, but he'll do it over a month. So, he's covering different aspects of it, and sometimes he has interviews and stuff too. Like, it's crazy. Like yeah, and I was like, I didn't want to hurry through the interview, but I'm like, all right, cool, great, this is good. I want to go listen to your shit now. Stop talking so I can stop. But I was like giddy because I was really looking forward to doing that interview, and that's not against anybody else I've done, but it when it's something that really intrigues you, and from the jump, you're like, oh yeah. I just did one with Greg. He is a Canadian fella, and he does so he hurt his ankle real bad playing football, and it just caused chronic pain, and he kept going to doctors. They kept saying this, that, and the other. He developed this kind of idea in clinic where it focuses on movement and not going at the pain point, but figuring out the root to that pain. So, if you keep getting headaches, you're taking medicine to take it away. Why don't you figure out what's causing where is that pain deviating from? So, real interesting. It definitely had me thinking about things, and I think the name of that one is because we mentioned posture, and he said posture is a dirty word, so I made the name of the episode Greg is a dirty imposture. So instead of imposter, yeah, you know how I like to do my little names.
Yeah.
So
no, but I mean, you apologize a couple of seconds. Come on. Well, not to say that any other ones, the interviews you did wasn't interesting. Don't apologize for your interest. If you're more interested in certain topics than others, that's your makeup. That's your unique.
I just don't want anyone to feel disrespected. Like I didn't look at their interview as a productive, successful thing. That's not the case. It's obviously
somebody come on the interview and start talking about chrysanthemums and different types of flowers.
Right.
I mean, I don't give a fuck if you're an expert or not. If I'm not interested in flowers, I'm just not that interested in flowers. Like, you
not
can't
really exciting.
Yeah,
fair enough. I get it.
I mean,
but how I am. I don't want to. I don't
be a guru, but it's just to me. I'm just not. I don't really, get down like that.
No, I mean it makes sense. It's just rather not because you know how people are. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, well, he said this, and this is what he meant." It's like, no, stop it. That's the society we live in. You have to over explain yourself. But
Yes.
um
You have to make sure you don't offend anyone. When you don't
right.
offend, you got to make sure you don't offend one statement. You got to make sure you don't defend a statement underneath another statement. Like it's like
Right.
you got different layers of
You're
non-offensive.
playing verbal chess is really what it is.
Good analogy there.
And you never fucking win either. That's the worst part. Like you always get checkmated. It's like how? Because I spoke. Why'd you speak? Because I didn't speak. Why didn't you speak? Because I spoke. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if somebody lays out a whole lecture and then they say, "Oh, and does anybody have any questions?" People could sit there and not have any questions because you really covered the topic very well. But that person would take that as a sign of insult because he would probably think no one's interested. And then if you start asking too many questions, then it's like, dang, are they poking holes in my story? So, like you said, you damned if you don't, you damned if you do. Like,
you ready for another perfect
like,
analogy though? Here's another perfect analogy. You know how like in other countries, if you eat all your food, certain places it's offensive, and other places it's warranted. And if you don't leave, if you leave a little bit, it's offensive. If you leave a little bit, it's not offensive. There are like countries that have all these weird, crazy food things that it's like, you better do some homework, and that shit better be marked in your little notebook of like, if I go to Norway, I gotta make sure I leave a quarter of my food left. But if I go to England, I gotta make sure I eat everything. Now in Germany, it's like, what the fuck?
yeah.
So yeah, but no,
But I
that's
don't get it. Like,
exactly.
why would somebody be mad if you don't eat it all? I mean, like, no. If why would somebody be mad if you ate it all? Like, if you don't eat it all, it would be a sign of either it wasn't good enough, or. But why would you mad if I ate it all? Are you trying to say that you didn't give me a large enough portion? Or
Listen, I'm gonna follow that question up with a statement. I showed Tiffany something on the Twitter sphere, and it was like some I think it was like Uganda or some shit. I don't know. It was some African fucking colony. I don't fucking know. But apparently, this is a real fucking thing, and you can vet this shit. It is a real thing. If you were getting married, their sister, I like the bride's sister, they will seduce you. Like I saw this thing where they were basically, and it gets worse. They dry humped this guy, had pussy in his face, and apparently, if you get an erection, then that means that you are going to cheat, and the marriage is nullified. I swear to God.
what?
Yeah, and it showed like it's basically like this chick just like dry humping this dude, and apparently you're not supposed to have a physical reaction to it because that means you're going to cheat. So
because of my biological nature and my biological makeup that attracts me to women, regardless of this woman is a stripper on the pole, regardless of this woman is someone in the classroom, or I am a man and I am attracted to women. So if I get any attraction, then that has something to do with my marriage, between the vows and the commitment I'm going to have with another woman. What?
Listen, I have done the dishes, and my dick has rubbed against the counter in a certain way. I was at about 30%.
Yes.
So that means apparently I'm
been at work or been anywhere, and there was nothing even attractive around, nothing to even be hard at, but like my dude to be like, yo, what's going on? What's up?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I gotta flip him up and shit, and like hold, like, what the fuck?
Right.
For no reason.
So
You got nothing to do with any type of female in any area or attraction or.
No, I was doing the dishes, so I was about to fuck the faucet or.
Yeah, like
so
what?
Clearly I'm gonna cheat on Tiff while I'm doing some dirty dishes.
Yeah,
like based on that. So to answer that question, countries are fucking stupid. So that's what we're at with that.
I mean, like with the whole food thing, I'm just saying, like, okay, I understand where somebody's coming from. They say, okay, you didn't finish your food. Either it wasn't seasoned to your liking, or you just wasn't feeling it. But if I eat it all,
yeah,
how is that disrespectful? Like I'm saying, the only angle I think you can come from there is, I didn't give you enough, so you fucked your shit up that quick, and I didn't give you enough. So I don't know how to serve you properly. That's about the only angle I think you can come from.
you know what? Maybe I'll look that up this week because I do want to come with some info because that was a random analogy for what we were talking about, but it just made me think of it.
We way off the
So
rails.
I'm gonna check that out. And let's kind of get down to business a little bit. So
Okay.
we did try to do a thing for a few weeks and it didn't really work. We were doing double episodes and that went over like a fart in church. So
Yeah.
we, originally for the longest did X's and O's on Saturdays, and then football season came in, and that's our second episode of the week is on Saturdays. Now, obviously, that's been an issue because we've been recording every other week for X's and O's because of scheduling. I mean, there's been things going on, so that didn't help. But I feel like
Yeah, I
even if
mean,
they weren't, we
vacations
probably would
and
have.
just not working out, or my daughter's
Right.
birthday. I mean, we had different things that
But it's
weren't
just a lot. Like it's a lot in general to do
we're
do
trying
that.
to do double episodes back to back. Like as I explained to you over the text, it's like I just don't want to do an injustice because that first episode
Right.
of whatever we do is going to be
It's
hitting
gonna be
hard,
good.
and then that second
Yeah.
one is going to be running on fumes. It's not going to have a sting.
And we thought
It's
it
gonna
wouldn't.
be like a chore.
And we thought it wouldn't because we're like, oh yeah, we can talk about football all day. Yeah, that's fine, but you still need to have that.
Being recording for 2-3 hours,
It's a lot.
that can take a toll. I mean, you just need you need a pause button just to even gather your spit and your thoughts and the whole nine. I mean,
Right.
one a night is good. It's just we got to find the right nights, and we found.
And we did. And
Yeah.
we're going back to BDE kind of deal. That was Wednesdays from
Wednesdays.
whenever we did that. So new schedule X's and O's is on Wednesday, and that'll be recorded at about 10, uploaded in the morning. So that'll be fine. Now, what we're doing today is because I've had a few people reach out and say, "Hey, yeah, we're the episodes." I'm like, "Yeah, we're shitty at things. Sorry." So
we just got the cross scheduling and the conflicts, and then we just got so excited about football.
Yeah.
And football is definitely a timing thing where you can't put that. You
Right.
can't say,
yeah, that has to happen.
That some
Right.
other day, like it's counterproductive. It has no relevance once you
Right.
put it
You
off
can't
a
record.
different day.
You can't record a Sunday preview on fucking Tuesday. Doesn't work. The math doesn't check out. So
yeah.
So we're just gonna do a mini little episode, which we've already done. I sent out the idea of, hey, let's today just be a little bit of a banter and then get into our draft that we were gonna do, and then right after that we're gonna record the football episode. So this idea was from you, and I eloquently put the words around it because you aren't good with words. So it's going to be brand loyalty.
And let me tell y'all how it came.
Explain it. Yeah, please.
This is how it came. I was just like, I just said to myself, it's just certain companies. I was like, it's certain brands you fuck with. Like, I mean, like I brought it to you. I was like, man, let's do the brands that you trust and that you fuck with. And you're like, it's called brand loyalty.
I'm like, do you mean brand loyalty?
Yeah.
I don't think brands you fuck with. But you know what? Based on how we do this, I think it still would. I think it would have flew. Actually, that may actually even be better.
Being at like one of those TED talks, and you at the top of the stage, and you're like, "All right, everyone, can I get some answers? Brands you fuck with."
But you know what? Coming from us, it would work to be like, yeah, no, fair enough. So how many rounds do you want to do here?
I don't know, about 5. I mean, 4 or 5.
All right. Well, let's go 4, and if we can bang out a 5, we'll do it.
An honorable mention or something. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So your topic, you lead in.
My first brand. So as far as television goes, even electronics, Samsung. I'm a big proponent of Samsung. I mean, the reason why is because I bought a Samsung television. I want to say maybe it's been a while. Sometimes Samsung is one of those products where you buy it and then you kind of forget it and put it to the side, and then you reflect on it later. Like you're like, or when something happens, you're like, dang, I did have that 10 years and nothing was wrong. And it's like, okay, because I have a 55-inch TV, and I want to say for 10 years, the only thing that ever happened, it has like a slight off in the corner, the right hand corners, there's like a slight little red stripe that you can't really see. It flickers here and there, but that caused me to call. I think I got it from Walmart or something like that, and it caused me to go out and buy one of those curved TVs.
Mm.
And the curved TV, it was Samsung as well, but after 5 years, somehow it got like a big dark spot in the middle. But the picture was still crystal clear. It was just a dark spot. But I had it on the warranty, so I got another 65-inch outside of the curve that's Samsung. All three of them are Samsung, and that's the concurrent one I have. So, but the one that has the little slight flickering red light, that is still at the house working. Like, I mean, nothing wrong with it. And that's over 10 years ago. This one I got now is probably 3 or 4 years, not one problem at all. Even moved it around a bunch of times, in and out, when you helped me move. And I mean, it took, I ain't gonna say it took a beating, but it was in the back of my car.
Right.
It wasn't in the most reliable, safe place.
Right.
Plug that thing in, not a scratch on it, like nothing. Like, and it comes on all the time. It just, I never had their phones, but everyone that has their phones, they tell me that it's a great phone. But whenever I go and purchase any type of electronics, and there's all these different brands, whether it be a TV, a phone, or even something that I haven't even had yet, maybe even a Bluetooth speaker. If I see the Samsung product, and if it's not too expensive, I trust their brand of quality, that I'm going to take the chance on the Samsung. I mean, they have sold me on the product that I'll even recommend it to someone that's in that same dilemma that I am. Do I go Vizio? Do I go take the Samsung? I don't know.
Fair enough. So based on my line of work, I do come across a lot of Samsungs, and one thing I've noticed, which I kind of like, I don't like it. They are overly complicated. Some of the things they have are they
like
are unnecessary. Yeah, they're unnecessarily complicated, and they're kind of different for the case of being different, which is just annoying when you're doing things remotely and virtually, when you're used to generally things being a certain way.
Cute. Yeah, like sometimes you get a product, you're like, why you gotta be so cute about it?
Like for Roku, for example, like they don't have an input button. You have to go home and then go to the right, and then go to the right, and then navigate through the inputs instead of just having an input button on the remote.
Right here on the screen. Yeah.
Right. It just is overly. It's unnecessarily complex when simple would be the way to go. So fair enough. Good. I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but I understand those that are. So, I mean, I feel the same way about Vizio. That's not a pick. I'm pretty big on Vizio for TVs. Don't really have problems with them. Just it work. I don't have anything like, oh, well, it's amazing. No, I don't care about that. It works. They don't die out on me. I'm fine with it. So
I'm just saying, in my analogy, let's suppose you're shopping for a TV and the price range is $500, $525, $550, and there's 3 different brands. Even if it's $550, I'm probably going to take a chance on that Samsung because
I'm going. Yeah, I will always go Vizio. I mean, I will pay up for Vizio.
Yeah,
just because of experience and how much that gets used. So, all right. I don't know how I'm already on tilt, but I'm on tilt.
You even said when I brought it up, you was like, I don't have a lot of them because
I'm not materialistic, man. I don't, but I think that actually kind of works out.
Don't get it wrong. I'm not materialistic. It's just certain brands that I have faith in. I mean, previous experience.
I mean, I just don't do a lot of stuff, so that's kind of my problem. But there are a few things that I am very kind of, I don't really deviate from. So I'm gonna go with, and it's weird because I don't really do it a lot, but when I do it, I will go this way. So Adidas. I have kind of bigger feet, and Adidas TVs. Yeah, Adidas TVs. Adidas shoes, they seem to fit me well. I also am a big fan of shell toes, so that's kind of my fucking deal. But I'm generally not really ever wearing shoes. I am currently actually now wearing shoes, and they are Adidas. So there you go. But they just fit well. I would say they're relatively affordable. I don't really need to go too high or too low on that stuff. It kind of is in that sweet spot. I'm not a fashionista guy. I'm not that person. But
Well, does that mean I can't pick a shoe as my brand? Because definitely one of my brands was Nike. So
absolutely, no, like that. This isn't that type of draft here because that. I mean, Adidas. I mean, that could span from I like Adidas soccer balls or their cleats. No, I'm no that's not this type of thing. So yeah, I would just go Adidas most and really just focusing on footwear. So yeah,
okay.
not a real fun pick, but it's like, it's important to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had
especially with diabetes. Like shit, I gotta have something that's comfortable on the feet.
Definitely had quite a few pairs of Adidas throughout my lifetime, and they served me well. None of them, like, I don't have any horror stories behind Adidas, but
they're durable. Like they feel thin, but they're not. Like it's a weird material where it's like fucking plexiglass or some shit. I don't know, but
yeah. I mean, just to get the footwear out of the way, I'm going to do Nike, but I did have a different. I got some different ones, but I'm going to do Nike because I understand they are the most expensive shoe out there, so you are getting what you pay for. So, like you said, a very durable shoe. Almost every pair that I've had, they never fell apart really quickly. Like right now, I got a pair that is finally falling apart, but I've had them maybe fucking 7 or 8 years. I mean, and they're just now falling apart, and they're still wearable. It's just that they don't look as crispy and as fresh as they used to, but I mean, they last a long time. I mean, and let's be honest, I mean, they pretty much got the market cornered as far as the most popular shoe out there, but
I mean, it's Nike, Adidas,
I mean, it's Nike, Adidas, Reebok. Those are your three.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Reebok always gets forgotten about. It's like the redheaded stepchild of the shoe game. Yeah, Nikes, they don't fit me well, man. Like I've tried multiple times, and they just don't. I don't know if they're too thin or what. They just don't fit me well. Like I got like 8 feet. I don't know what's happening. I got 8 hands and 8 feet.
I mean, I definitely got a pair of Felines. I got other shoes, but whenever, like, basically, if I'm given X amount of money and I'm told to pick out the best shoe that I want, most of the time, and my kids as well, trust me, because I've been at that store and I'm trying to sway them into something else. Like, look over there, because they're expensive.
Yeah,
but they jumped right on the Nike train too, and I'm pretty sure that children grow up and they play the dozens and they get ridiculed. But in order to cut down on any of that, you want to start off with you put your children in some Nikes. I mean, at least they don't have to defend their shoe.
Yeah, that swoosh, it is absolutely a social, because I don't care, white neighborhood, black neighborhood, Asian, Hispanic, it don't matter. That swoosh, it's almost like street cred. It's the weirdest thing. Like it automatically is like a social status thing. But if you walk in with a pair of fucking New Balances, it's like,
I mean, like if let's suppose it's 6th grade and you rub your son on the shoulder and be like, go get him, pal, and you send him off to school with a pair of Skechers, you have put him at a disadvantage. I mean, like, he's about to have a sketchy ass day. He's a comedian because he's going to learn how to rip on everybody because he's defending himself all the time, or he's going to crush under the pressure. And it's an unnecessary argument that doesn't need to happen.
It's stupid, but it absolutely is a thing.
It's a reality. So, I mean, I don't know how many we've had, X's and O's shows where we talked about the double standards where it's not fair, but it's the reality. So you have to deal with the realities in front of you. And by sending your child to school with a pair of swooshes that cost anywhere from $80 to $100,
$120, yeah.
At least you've deaded that conversation, because anybody that's ripping on somebody with Nikes, they're ripping on them for something else. They're not ripping on them because of the Nikes. They're not. But if you send them to school with them Skechers, the first thing that comes out their mouth, look at them Skechers.
Right. Yeah.
And they can be a fly pair of Skechers, but They're
Skechers.
Skechers.
Right.
I mean, like, save your child unnecessary conversation.
Because it's like
Even if you don't like Nikes yourself, send them to school with a pair of them swooshes, and that's a conversation they don't have to have.
it's like, how'd you buy your shoes with a 2-pound pack of meat and Reese Pieces? Like, what? How did you? You're not buying Jordans at fucking Walmart, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good pick, and it's funny because that like brings up like a whole social status thing.
And like you said, street cred, like, and like you said, it's cross race. It's everywhere. Like
It's
you
like
said,
it's literally a handicap.
It's not just a black people thing. Like, I mean, you can go to suburbia and
Right.
it's all white kids. You think them white kids ain't dropping names sporting Jordans? All of them are. You know, it's a social status. It's a symbol. So
yeah. I mean, it's that gift and a curse. So,
I mean, and you as an adult, you don't really give a fuck because you
Nope.
look past these superficial, bullshit. You just want a pair of shoes
that feels good, like that will be a function, because at that point it's like,
yeah, I mean, I've seen older guys in the office where they got the shoes with the Velcro straps. If I ever get to a point where I'm wearing Velcro straps,
that's a little, yeah,
you
it's a
better
much.
fucking kill me, shoot me, and
I
put me
gotcha.
on the pasture. Because if I ever made it to that point, there's a problem.
Yeah, unless you physically can't do it, it's a medical thing, then cool. But like,
no, these are the dips that are in Walmart hanging up like this. Like, if you're buying shoes that are hanging up like that with like a coat hanger at the top,
if you bought your shoes on a fucking end cap, that's if your shoes are with the seasonal product,
if you go to the store and your shoe ain't laying on the shelf,
right,
fucking horizontally, and they're hanging up vertically,
if your shoe don't have a box,
yes,
like,
there is a problem.
Your pair of shoes you just bought can fit in a bag, in your bag, along with your mayonnaise. Like,
I don't give a fuck if I'm 80 years old. I'm gonna still have a fresh pair of kicks on.
there you go. Hey,
I don't care.
all right. So,
all right, my next pick.
no, it's my pick, motherfucker.
Your pick. My man.
So number 2, and it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. So you can tell me if you allow it or not. I'm doing Heinz / French's.
So ketchup and mustard?
Yeah. So I figured they're a condiment. They're both condiments. I don't know if you're going to let me do the 2-for-1 or not, but
no, I mean, it's Heinz 57, the whole, yeah.
So
especially ketchup. I mean,
yeah. So it's one of those things where, yeah, I've sometimes had to do the cheap stuff, but whatever. But sorry, yawn, sleepy boy.
I was about to say, you sure you're gonna be able to make it?
You're goddamn right I am. It's one of those deals where it probably doesn't make a ton of difference. But when you've had Hunt's ketchup and you get heartburn, you're like, fuck you.
When you've had catsup,
ooh, yeah.
Oh, just the way they spell it is to get you with it.
CAT, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
Meow.
I mean,
kitty cat.
Anybody's house that you go in, I don't give a fuck if
it's a. Is that nice?
If I go in a mansion and the dang on butler comes down with a bottle of Cat's Up, I'm gonna be like, who the fuck does the shopping in y'all home? Because y'all obviously missed a very huge detail.
Isn't it almost like a social thing there too? Like you
almost like
your friend's house.
Like,
yeah, you open the fridge.
You go over your one buddy's house, and they got catsup, and you go over your other buddy's house and they got ketchup. You're gonna be like, man, I'm going over dude's house that got the ketchup.
Like, you need to take your Save-A-Lot ass fuck away from me.
I mean, I understand saving money in today's economy. Trust me, we have to save as much as we can, but there's certain things you do not compromise. Like, you don't.
Yeah, like, because I have given Tiff dirty looks like, the fuck is this mustard? Who the fuck made this? It's not even, like the bottle isn't even like the right color yellow. Like, what the fuck did you do? So
because there's tons of products out there, and the majority of have competition. So that's what drives the price down. but there are certain products that they have almost no competition, and that's one of them. It's like, yeah, that shelf, that Coons Shop and Save John Eagle shelf might be filled with all different types of ketchup, but the only bottles that are being grabbed off them shelves,
right,
is Heinz.
And then
I mean,
French's is the same thing for mustard. It's
another product like that is Miracle Whip. Like, I mean, people take these.
All right, real quick, off topic. Are you Miracle Whip or mayo?
I like them both. But
gun to your head.
Gun to my head, I would have to probably go Miracle Whip.
My man, that's what I'm fucking talking about. Thank you.
Yeah. I do them both. Like, I like the actual real mayonnaise when I'm like when it comes to like cooking something like
right.
Like some potato salad or something with real mayo that is needed. Or if I'm like getting ready to have some fish sandwiches and I'm gonna make some tartar sauce, so you take the mayo and the tartar and you mix it up and shit. But as far as sandwiches and anything else, Miracle Whip is.
It has that tang, man. It just has that little. Because I was actually gonna add a third to it, but I'm like, maybe pushing my luck. I don't want to like monopolize the condiment game. But I was like, I mean, I
I'm not picking condiment related, but go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, look, I'll add it in there. Yeah. Miracle Whip. Absolutely. I will. I just, because I think it's like the smooth factor, right? Like mayo is just fucking lumpy and shit. And you're right. Like you don't know if you're cooking with it because it just goes into something else. But if you have to fucking look at it in its mayo ass face and
fucking its mayo ass face,
layer that shit on the sandwich, and you see the lumpy bumpkins that are fucking happening. That shouldn't.
You can't spread that shit on those. Like you can't be sitting up there getting ready to eat a pepperoni, salami, and ham sandwich, and you're spreading that heavy ass, thick ass mayo onto that sandwiches. That
fucking
is
gross. All right,
that is
make your pick. This is making me fucking nauseous.
If Miracle Whip had a cape on, that's when that motherfucker, the little bottle, be like dun 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 dun, and it'll save your fucking sandwich. Because you got to put heavy ass Hellmann's on a fucking lunch meat sandwich.
Now that everyone's like picturing this and nauseous, let's fucking move on. That shit's gross. Right. Jesus Christ.
Mayonnaise was used. We always gotta get Chappelle here. Mayonnaise was used when he said, in order for sex prevention, that they had the two old teachers with the mayonnaise have a mayonnaise bag.
Oh God, no! Oh, I forgot about that. It's fucking gross.
In order to teach people about sex, have two of the oldest teachers rub each other down with mayonnaise and shit. But all right, let me move on.
Now I'm a rotten. Now I'm nauseous and erect.
That's gonna jeopardize your marriage. Third product.
Oof.
And this is where I speak for me and Tiff on this one.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know where you're going.
Disney. I mean, I just respect everything they put out. It's like one of those things where, and now that they own Marvel and Star Wars and everything else, even though they own all those different subsidiaries of their main parent company, they make sure nothing gets released that's like overlooked or that's rushed. They pull it back and they relook at it. They make sure they get the best stars, the best actors. Everything they put out is of superior fucking quality. It just really is. I mean, like, and me, I'm a grown ass adult. I'm 45, but man, I still watch those Pixar cartoons and stuff like that. I mean, I'm a child at heart, so I don't know. Everything they put out is of superior quality.
You're a child by stature.
That too.
No,
but,
you know what?
I mean, the Marvel, the Disney, like all the Star Wars, even when they even got on that Disney Plus, they even got some like National Geographic because they own them too. Right. And even their documentaries are crisply done. It's like it's a crispy type of. It's like they don't let anything get out of their wheelhouse that's undercooked, so to speak. definitely respect everything. Anything that Disney put out, even if I'm not even digging the subject or I'm not really into whatever the little show is about,
Right.
it's still pristinely well done. It's
And
really
I
good.
don't I don't give a shit about Disney at all. It could burn to the
Yeah.
ground. I'd be fine with it. Doesn't matter. But I will absolutely agree with you 1,000,000,000% that it is one of the very few companies that actually care about detail, that actually care about what they put out. Because you see
Care
so
about
many
it.
companies, so many places, so many restaurants, so many everything that after a little bit of success,
Success, they fall off.
that
Yeah.
it, you know, it's they almost act like they're a perennial like mom and pop shop. Like you think about the mom and pops, Joe's Pizza right down the road, and then you got Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's like, I'm gonna jizz on this pizza. It's gonna be fucking great, and you suckers are gonna eat it. But you got Joe Sicilian down here owning his pizza shop, and he's over here fucking in the lab making construction. He's fucking milking the cows and making cheese out of it. Like he's doing all these things to make
It's remember we talked about artists that they're hungry and then they finally get put on and then that second album is suffering because they're not as hungry. Disney is hungry to win that Super Bowl every year.
Right,
It's
and
like
that's
they
the
never take
impressive
a break.
part. That's the impressive, crazy part because that is not, you do not see that. And it's almost like a weird, refreshing thing, but it's also like you can't hate them because it's like we're spending the money to make the money. And yeah, things are more expensive, but they're more expensive
More
for us to
expensive,
do it.
and on top of that, there's certain. I know that there's with certain movies that with deadlines that people want them to push it out, like get that shit out to the theaters, and they're like, nope, we're gonna double check, triple check, quadruple check, and then we're gonna release it 2 months from now, and we're gonna make sure it doesn't have not a scratch on it,
and we're gonna make 30 more million because of that 2 month
paying
delay.
attention to the details.
Hold my apple juice, bitch.
Yeah. Don't hold my beer, hold my apple juice.
Right. Hold my Capri Sun.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
no, it's a great pick.
McDonald's used to be, but now McDonald's is trash. It's terrible. McDonald's used to be a wonderful experience, and I don't know if it's probably a little bit of both of me being young and had young.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably more the former than the latter.
It seemed like they had a lot more love into their product, but now it's in a big fucking assembly line, just like Subway when it first came out. Subway used to be awesome.
Subway is garbage.
Good
now.
Horrible now.
Yeah.
KFC used to be excellent. It is fucking horrible now. That's what I'm saying. Everybody stop making shit with love. My example is Disney never stopped putting the love into the product.
Except like the racist shit in the 70s, but that's fine.
Okay. He said the racist shit in the 70s. I don't even know what, like some of those cartoons with like
like the
different like little
like
but that was just
it was the times.
It was the times, yeah.
But it was like, I mean
they make sure that they don't let none of that shit like air, like they try to hide it and bury it, and
probably for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like some racist crows. That's
great. Yep.
I done seen them nowhere. It's like, oh boy. This is fucking uncomfortable.
I definitely recall some Looney Tune commercials. I mean, I said commercials. Looney Tune cartoons that were severely inappropriate today.
Yeah. But I think I think it was a mixture of like the times and two, just like I think just as people we were not cognizant of that. We're like, oh, this is offensive.
Yeah, there wasn't no such thing as PC before that. I mean, like PC didn't even come into play until at least the 90s, until after the Rodney King thing. I want to say PC didn't hit until like 95. So anything before that is sketchy.
Yeah, that's fair. No, real good pick, man. It's like I said, my feelings on the product, because I just don't like the products. I just don't. It's just I didn't grow. I mean, I grew up with it, but I didn't grow up with it. I just didn't care. So once again, something I don't really do that often, but when I do, I will choose this brand, and I think that almost makes it more important because it's more of an experience when you do it. So I'm going Crown Royal. Yeah. So not really a big drinker. I'm more of a social kind of person. But if there's a gathering and if there is whiskey, there better be Crown, and it better be the.
I remember
It better
your
be it.
birthday. Y'all was definitely taking those
Mhm.
Crown Peach shots.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it better be the flavor that I'm feeling at that point in time.
But at the same time, if you had a choice, if it was, some version of Hennessy or some other version of brandy or whiskey, or you would push those to the side and be like, give me the Crown. Like, you don't drink that often, but when you do,
and now with that being said, if I'm somewhere and I'm already a little in, then I'm right. But if there's a choice, you give me the choice, I'm gonna go with the Crown. But I'm not gonna like pass up. Oh, that's not Crown. I'm go away from me, peasant.
I don't think it goes like with drinking, unless you're rich, and even you almost got to be a little snobbish, because even if you're rich, like once you have a few, they all start tasting the same. You just start banging them back. You don't care.
You just gotta break. You gotta break your seal with something you want, so it gets you in a good place.
Yeah.
You don't
like
start out.
You don't start off like me. I'm definitely, I'm a big vodka drinker. So if I had in a perfect world, and they said, what is the number one vodka you want first? It's going to be Grey Goose. So there's plenty of nights I've started off with Grey Goose in my Budweiser, but as the Grey Goose is a lot more expensive than the next tier down, which is like Absolute, and then there's like
Sky and shit. Yeah.
So I definitely plenty of nights I've started off with Grey Goose until I start catching the buzz. Then I play the D-back, start backpedaling. Battled it into the Absolute, and then by the end of the night, I backpedaled into fucking bottom of the barrel, because it's just.
I like Absolute, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you want to start off with something that you're going to enjoy. You don't start your night off taking a shot of 151. That's not how that fucking goes.
You don't start the night off like, let me get a shot of Nikolai. Like, you don't want that fucking bottom.
Golly, Nikolai.
You don't start off with that.
Fucking Vladdy and shit. Oh
yeah,
man.
Vladimir.
many a nights me and Bob can fucking attest to. Vladdy was a part of our night for about fifth each for $6.99. Let's fucking go.
Vladimir, that shit there. It's like it felt like the bottle took you and put your head in the DDT.
Oh yeah.
Banged you to the ground, like
there is nothing good in Vladdy. There is like I just got a hangover thinking about Vladdy.
Just even thinking about it. I remember in college the cheapest, dirtiest beer was PBR, Pabst.
Really? I don't mind PBR, man.
You a PBR champion, huh?
I don't mind it. No, in college, it's natty light. Natty ice.
Cheap mother. You can get a whole case of that shit for like $10.
$6 right now. You can get a 30 rack for $6.
30 pack, yeah.
And they'll give you a BOGO for Milwaukee's Best too.
And a Black and Mild cigar to go with it. Like, you should have knew something was going on. If you getting the whole 30 pack for fucking $6, you should know there's pain behind that $6. God damn, it's coming.
Yeah, but definitely didn't mind PBR though. Meh.
No. I think the cheapest was Jacob's Best. Damn,
Jacobs. I didn't even heard of that shit.
You never even heard it? It was called Jacob's Best. I think, like you said, like a case was like $7, yo. For real. All right, for real. And then the next level up, if y'all can gather up and everybody chip in PBR, we can get some PBR. Yeah. Because PBR.
I mean, PBR is definitely like the drunk white guy beer. The drunk white frat guy beer. Yeah.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. I ain't had one of them shits since college, yo.
I was gonna say, you see a black dude with a PBR, you know he's at some kind of frat party somewhere.
I'm hanging out with we hanging out with white guys like, let's go.
He did not actively purchase that case.
Damn, yo, you just brought back some memories, yo. College was like 96 to 2001. Yeah. Damn, I ain't had a PBR since then, yo.
Not missing much.
Yeah. All right, my last. Well, unless you want to
Maybe last. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, my last. And you probably gonna get mad. You ain't think of this, but Sony or Sony PlayStation.
It was on my list, but I'm like, eh.
I mean, PlayStation. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not an Xbox guy. I never was an Xbox guy.
Don't like the controller.
And yeah, I hate it. It's a spaceship. Like, I don't want to play a game and feel like I'm fucking taking off, like playing this game.
I mean, hold on. That actually would be pretty fucking cool. But anyway.
Yeah. He's like, look, you do want to lift up.
I was gonna say, let's be honest, that's a pretty fucking crazy concept.
But
I feel you.
All those systems that came out. I mean, like Nintendo. Don't get me wrong. It was Atari. Then Nintendo was like the new hotness, and then soon as Sega Genesis, or Sega, then Sega Genesis. But soon as that Sony PlayStation came out, and your hand wrapped around them controllers,
it just felt good.
It made love to your hand.
It made.
That ain't so right.
Now that you're thinking about the controller, because you just kind of put the one, it kind of fucked your hand a little bit. but you think about it, like just the you're sitting there and it's like, it works. It just
feels natural. Right. Like this is how if cavemen could have played video games, they would be playing this one because it just feels natural. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, you surely don't, because that shit doesn't make any fucking sense. But
I'm talking about caveman playing some fucking video games.
You know, you're saying something silly.
My analogies are shitty, but I don't care. I'm gonna keep saying them, but
I like
at the same time, man. But PlayStation, man. I mean, I've tried those other systems. I've tried the Xboxes, Dreamcast, all those other ones.
It just doesn't work.
I find myself coming back to Okay, when the PlayStation 2 coming out? Okay, when's the 3 coming out? Okay, when's the 4 coming out? Now, I haven't jumped on the 5. You have, because it's still a little bit too rich for my blood, but your pun intended, your blood. But I want that PlayStation 5. And then whatever next version, I want them until I die. I'm going to live and ride and die with the fucking PlayStation. I am.
It's interesting. I wonder how much that actually has. I know you brought up a bunch, but like if you could put a percentage on it, 1 to 100, how much is that? How much of that decision is strictly because of the controller?
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's only because of the controller, because they bring out some damn good graphics too, and they got exclusive games that are only on PlayStation, like your God of Wars and your Last of Us and stuff like that are exclusive. So that plays a part, but a lot of the decision is with the people love familiarity. I mean, like,
I would go 85%, honestly, on my side, 85%.
Damn.
Because you think about that,
all across platforms, a lot of them do have the same games, except for some of the exclusives I mentioned. But
let me ask you a question.
To use those other controllers.
Let me ask you a question. How do you play your game?
What do you mean?
How do you play the game you're going to play?
How do I play it with my controller? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You
think about that.
I never find myself like those PC players that play on the PC. I would never be sitting at it. I understand the graphics might be better and the play might be more fluid and all of that. I could never be sitting up there, even with a joystick, at a PC doing it. Like I need them controllers. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Anything about the game. Okay, just an experiment. You could put 4 TVs in front of me with each different system and have the same exact game on. I guarantee you, if you watch me play throughout that day, at the end of the day, I'm going to have that PlayStation controller in my hand. And it's the same exact game.
Well, my whole point is that's how you get to play the game. So it is such a large part of it, because you can have the best graphics, the best games, all that stuff. But if you're holding something that is not comfortable, something you can't really use effectively, something you don't like, doesn't matter about any of that stuff. Because
you bring up a good point. Here's another weird analogy, but it's like a car. Like, let's suppose
I was right in my head too. Ain't that about it?
You got a car and it's a Lamborghini 50,000, whatever the fuck. I don't know the names of it. And one got the wheel on this side, one got the wheel on that side, or the one got the wheel in the middle. You're going. The controller is your steering wheel of how you operate this contraption. So if you're used to operating it sitting in the motherfucking left-hand side on the driver's seat, that is the one you're going to choose because that's how you operate. Like, that's how you know how to operate it.
And I know we're smart and adaptable, animals, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of deal. Less is more, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, that's a good pick. It was definitely on my list to think, and I'm like, I mean, it's important. Yeah, I mean, I probably would have picked it, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I mean, do you not play your PlayStation very much? So
yeah, I fuck with it. Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
So product you fuck with.
Yeah.
And if somebody came to you, like, not only do the products you fuck with, but at the same time, products that you would recommend to somebody else that's asking for your opinion. If somebody said, "Hey, Rich, man, I got these, I got this lunch meat and I got this bread. What should I use here?" She gonna be like,
"Your fucking head and make a sandwich, idiot."
No, I'm just saying. He gonna be like, put the Miracle Whip on. You're co-signing on the Miracle Whip,
right?
I mean, your other picks. I mean, any other pick, like, you're gonna put some. Hey, man, Rich, dude, I got these packets of catsup, or do I get this Heinz over here? You're gonna be like,
well, it's funny because this draft is something that you fuck with, but also something you advocate for too.
Yeah, so, like I said, you sign off on it. Like, if somebody asks for your opinion, you're gonna say, "This is what I recommend." You know, if let's suppose you're married, but let's suppose that, hey, you meet somebody or something, and you're going to get in a relationship, and then you run into a woman that never played video games, and she says, "Well, I want to learn. I want to play video games too. What do you recommend? Do I get the Xbox? Do I get the PlayStation?" What you gonna tell her?
What's gonna get you naked quicker? No, I feel you. No, I mean, that's a good point.
I mean, you're advocate. Not only do you support it yourself and you fuck with it, when somebody asks you, isn't that one of the main questions on, the survey of said company? Will you recommend our products to someone else? Yeah, that's huge. That's a huge part of it. Not just will you mess with it, will you recommend our product to somebody else? And that's huge.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
So, this is a weird one, but I'm gonna go 5950. New Eras.
What is that?
Hats, like New Era hats.
Like you're talking about those hats, the fitted joints?
Yeah. So
see, I don't wear. I ain't no big. You'll never catch me in a hat. But go ahead.
So I don't. Once again, it's not a huge thing in my life, but I don't do snapbacks. If I'm wearing a hat, it's fitted backwards. It's what I always do. Doing it for years and years and years. That
most people that wear them, I know that they subscribe to nothing but them.
Yeah, really, and I keep the sticker on and say I've had the same. I've had It's just I don't, because let's be honest. It really started in Black communities. It was a part of the outfit. Yeah. It just was. You had the fitted, you had the jersey, and you had the kicks that kind of matched up with the colors, and you just coordinated as such. I'm not that guy, but it is something I have just subscribed to for years, and just don't do snap. It's just a part of how many times have I done an episode with a hat on? Actually, count how many times I've done an episode without a hat on. That's probably a much easier thing. It's just And it's weird because I'm not trying to cover. I know I'm bald. Duh. It's not like I'm covering anything up or I'm ashamed. It is just a part of what I wear. Like my small little fashionista thing about me. Where's my hat at?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm just not a hat wearer. I always used to think my head was too big for him, but then once I found out that my head is still big as shit, but it ain't too big for him, I
right.
just never that just wasn't my look. Like I just never got into hats. I just
Yeah.
never have. Have you ever seen me rocking a
Nah.
brim hat?
Like I think the most I ever saw is maybe you rolling into said company with a skull cap on
A skull cap. Oh
because it
yeah, for
was
the
cold.
winter. Oh
But
hell yeah.
that's
I wear
about
those all
it.
the time because that ain't just fashion. That's protection.
Right.
I mean, like,
But
but
that's
fashion,
about it. You're usually shiny as fuck.
shiny as fuck. That's how it goes, man. That is how it goes.
Do you got a round 5 or you want to wrap it up?
Oh, we at 56. Yeah, let's wrap that thing up because we about to
Mhm.
to the
Which is
football
funny
game.
because you're like, oh, it's gonna be short. I'm like,
I was
okay.
like, hey, I was like, let's get this thing moving. But you know as well as I know, motherfucker, we like too giddy. We like motherfucking salt and pepper.
Yeah.
That should have been something that motherfucking you co-signed on, but but it never ceases to amaze me. Man. We can rap and rap and fucking rap and keep rapping.
And it's fun. Like that's the thing. And the cool thing is once we don't have something to talk about, we're like, okay, bye. So
Well, we rapped for like 20 minutes before we even got on.
sure did. About some bullshit too. It was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls. So here is the skinny on this. So from now on, and yeah, this coming Wednesday will be a new episode, and we'll get back to our weekly grind and all that. This was supposed to just be a quick draft, but we already explained how that went. So whatever.
He had a nerve to say, we can get that done in 20 minutes. I was like, 20 minutes? We probably didn't even get one pick out in 20 minutes.
Goddamn shame. But people like it, so this is our appeal. So all right, you kiddos. So we will see you on Wednesday. So this is Rich.
This is Jermaine.
And go fuck your mother.
Damn. Dang.
Right.
You don't even know if you got one. Say, no, I'm just playing. All right.
Well, I don't.
I don't.
Yay! Sad memories. That's how we're going to end the episode on not having moms. Okay, bye.
Bye.